everyone, almost fell over. We're going to be doing some bubble painting today with Knox. I'm wearing my favourite t-shirt. Look, Iron Man, the Hulk. Iron Man, the Hulk. Back to Iron Man for the activity. We will be doing some bubble painting today, like I said, and I will start with the materials you need. For this, you definitely need a plastic sheet to cover the ground. I would recommend working in any room that doesn't have carpet because you're very likely to make a lot of mess during this, which is why it's fun, but also why you need to be extra careful. You also need 2 ready mixed paints. Of course, if you feel really confident, you can use more than 2 colours, but I would start with just 2. You want them to be non-toxic and as dark as possible, really, because it works better with darker colours. Feel free to try it with lighter colours, but I recommend starting with darker colours. You will also need 2 bowls, or as many bowls as the number of colours of paint you have. You will need spoons to stir the mixture you're going to make. You will need fairy liquid for the mixture, or any washing up liquid. Some water, I've got it ready in a jug already, and some straws. My dentist brother always tells me to drink things through straws to protect my teeth, so we have lots of steel straws in our house so that we don't use plastic straws or paper straws to protect the environment. However, you may not have these at home. If you don't, use any straws that you have. If you don't have any straws, then you can always make some straws out of cardboard. Well, not very thick cardboard, but thin card like this, where you can roll it up and make a straw. Be creative, think of ways that you can make a straw. And you will definitely need kitchen towel or any kind of sponge or something absorbent, because you will most likely have some spillages, especially if you're working with young children, if you're doing this with young children. Of course, you will need some light coloured card to do the artwork on. If you don't have light coloured card, you can maybe cut up a cereal box. Often the colour of the card inside the cereal box is quite light, so you'll still be able to see your bubble painting on that. But paper I would not recommend, because as soon as it gets a little bit soggy, once it has the bubbles on it, it will just disintegrate. It will become all mushy. So try and use something a bit thicker than normal paper, but definitely try and use a light colour of whatever it is you're trying to get the bubbles onto. This will make more sense as I do the activity. Here's one I made earlier. I feel very much like a Blue Peter presenter. So you can see all the lovely bubbles on this paper. I will show you how you can do this yourself. Lastly, you will need to prepare an area where you can dry your amazing works of art, somewhere where you won't get anything else too messy. Okay, I will start with a short, not warning, but a short note to parents. I am passing on the responsibility to you to look after your kids, help them enjoy this activity in the safest way possible. It's really important that you think about what your child is able to do independently, what your child is able to do with a little bit of support, and what your child cannot do at all. Some parts of this you will see as we go through it. Very young children or even older children might not understand properly, so they should not do it. But think about what the parts of it that they can take part in and they can do independently and feel proud of themselves for doing so. What else? I think that's it for now. I will go through the activity and then If you have any questions at the end, please feel free to ask me. You can message me on WhatsApp or reach out to me on any other social media platform. Okay, right. I really believe that you can do this with all age groups. Obviously not babies, but 1-year-olds are actually able to participate in this. Again, like I said, if parents, you're the ones who know your children the best. So if you use your intelligence and your knowledge of your own children, you can do this safely with almost any age group. All right, so I've already added some of my dark green paint into my bowl. I will add a bit of my dark blue paint into my other bowl. Wish I had a dark blue bowl to go with my dark blue paint. You need a fair amount, but not too much. About, like, I would say about a teaspoon. And then you want to do 2 squirts of washing up liquid into each bowl. And then I like to mix that before I mix in the water, but it probably doesn't matter, to be fair. And then you don't want to fill the bowl up all the way to the top. You want to fill it up probably just not even a third of the way initially. You can probably see how much water I have because of the bowls I'm using. It's not very much, but what you want to do is make sure that that paint is really mixed in there properly so that you don't have any lumps coming through. Although it doesn't really matter if you have lumps coming through because they make really bright dots on your paper. So it really depends on your personal taste, whether you want your bubbles to be perfect, which I don't think you need to have them. Okay, now that I believe that is properly mixed, you take the spoons out. Okay. This is the fun part. You get your straws. I'm using 1 straw per bowl. Now, it's really important, especially with everything that's going on right now, that only one person uses the straw. If there's more than one person doing this activity, you should have your own straws. Doesn't matter if the straw ends up getting mixed in the different paints. I'm just doing this because I prefer it to be separate. But what really matters is that whoever is using a straw only ever uses that straw. You don't mix it up with the other person. If it helps, sit slightly further apart so that you don't get your straws mixed up. Okay, but then you simply blow to make bubbles. Kids, this is really good fun. Normally your mum and dad tell you that you are not allowed to blow through straws and make bubbles. But in this activity, that's what you're supposed to do. I love it. If you don't have much water, what you'll find is that you do have to tilt the bowl a bit. So again, parents, think about, can your child do this safely or will they spill it everywhere? And then you blow until the bubbles come to the top of the bowl. Wow, I love it. I can already tell that these bubbles aren't very pigmented yet. They haven't picked up the paint yet, so I may need to add more paint, but let's pop the bubbles with my paper. Yeah, I was right. You can only see the very tiniest bubble there. Not very good yet. But as you carry on, you'll find that the bubbles pick up the paint more. Now, remember kids, one end has already been in the paint. You don't want to be licking that end. It's not very tasty. So try and keep an eye on which end already has paint on it. Another way of doing it is to scoop the bubbles on top of your paper. And as you watch them burst, you'll see that they leave a mark. Let's try some of the green now. Parents, you'll find the kids want to do loads of bubbles. They end up spilling over the edge and there's just colourful liquid all left where the bubbles have popped. So that's why you need your kitchen towel or sponge or whatever. See, that's loads of bubbles. Scoop it on there. And as they pop, they leave a mark. As you can see, it's not leaving a very dark mark yet. That's because the paint takes a while to really get mixed into the bubbles. Now you just keep doing that until your whole page is full. It's that simple. And, pardon me, you can use your decorated card. You can do both sides if you want. I would wait till one side is dry till you try and do the other side, because the card, even the card gets quite mushy. Older kids can maybe use this to make birthday cards or thank you cards, maybe for their teachers who've been sending them lots of activities to do. Younger kids might just use it to decorate their walls if they want, or adults can use it to make cards for their friends from their kids. What else? I've used it as wrapping paper. I've used it for lots of different things. So come up with creative ways that you can use your newly decorated paper and let me know. I'd love to know what you do with it. If you don't do anything with it, the activity itself is fun. So have a go and let me know how you get on. Don't forget to clear up afterwards. I'm going to be wiping all this down in a minute. Enjoy, guys. Bye.